Our first engine went en route at 6:02 p.m. and based off of CAD notes and additional caller information decided to upgrade this fire to a working structure fire and started a second alarm as well. Crews could see from many miles away a smoke column on the horizon. As our crews arrived on scene approximately 14 minutes later due to the long travel distance, we found a very large multi-story row of commercial buildings with approximately 20 occupancies. In that building, we estimated that 5 to 6 of them were on fire upon our arrival. Our crews immediately started defensive fire operations and exposure protection and started a third alarm for additional resources. Throughout the fire, we remained in the defensive position and worked to stop the fire from extending to the large end of the building where we had ultimately 15 more occupancies that went unburned. We're still working on a full damage assessment at this time. We believe, working with Renaissance Festival staff, that there was a loss of 6 buildings and probably 6 to 10 occupancies in there. The investigation is currently being led by the State Fire Marshal's Office in conjunction with the Shakopee Fire Department, with additional assistance from the ATF and the Sheriff's Office just because of the size of this project and the need for additional resources. We anticipate the investigation to go on for much of the next week. Throughout the fire, we had one minor firefighter injury who was hit by a hose early on in the process. He was quickly evaluated and did return to work during the fire. We had 36 different fire resources from 3 separate counties, and we estimate that equated to 86 total firefighters on scene. We did have some struggles with water supply throughout the incident. This is a non-watered area, meaning it's not hooked up to a municipal water supply. So we went to a fourth alarm for a tender group as well. This brought 9 tenders to the scene, all carrying 2,000 to 3,000 gallons of water. We do estimate at any given time throughout the firefighting process we were flowing in excess of 1,000 gallons a minute, so we were going through those tenders very quickly as we fought the fire. The Renaissance Festival is located back in a wooded area on gravel roads with minimal maintenance, and due to the rain we had difficult terrain conditions as well as mud that we were dealing with to get resources back here that contributed to some of our water supply issues. Again, at the end of the day, we believe we lost 6 structures but did save 15 to 20 that were part of this entire strip of buildings, and were able to get out with 1 minor injury.
Chief, I mean, you could say like part of the story is yes, the 6 buildings that were destroyed, but it seems like the bigger story is what wasn't touched. I mean, considering that everything here is made of wood, it's in an open area, all these things, how remarkable is it that there wasn't more damage?
Yeah, we're very thankful for the work of our crews and our mutual aid partners that came in. This is a difficult situation with all the wood structures, as you stated. I don't know the total number of buildings on premises, but we definitely saved the majority of it with only the 6 buildings that were lost.
How much was that cement wall to fire?
Yeah, there is a block wall to the long end of the building, and that played a tremendous role in helping us stop the fire. We had crews on both sides of the structure working on creating a fire break there to ensure that we were able to save the rest of the structure, and the block wall contributed greatly to that.
Can you talk about the potential origin of this fire?
We are still working on the investigation and trying to eliminate possible ignition sources as a cause, but we do not have a determination at this time.
Lightning look like it's a possibility or a likelihood?
It is possible. Doing a lightning report, I'm told that there were 4 lightning strikes within a mile of this location and 2 within a half mile.
Lessons from this. I mean, you talked about how there's no municipal water source. Is that something you want to see here in the future, considering how many people come here during the year when the event is over?
Yeah, the decision to implement a municipal water supply would be something done in conjunction with our local water utility as well as Renaissance Festival staff. The reality is this property is located quite a ways out of the Shakopee boundaries, which would be the closest water supply, and it would be an expensive and long ongoing project to make that happen. So, yeah, this being quite a commercial area and very popular area in a non-watered environment is not uncommon throughout the state. So they're not unique in the challenges here, and fire departments across the state do very similar things to us with the mutual aid resources and tender groups to tackle those issues.
Right, it seemed like the system
You may have heard Jonah Kaplan there asking questions to the fire chief. We're going to continue following this. Jonah is going to have a live report for you at noon. We do know the Renaissance Festival is scheduled to open in less than 4 months on August 16th. A lot of local artisans and business owners are a part of the festival, and some are now coming to terms with the fact that they may have lost everything in that fire. We did just get a statement from the festival. They say, in part, quote, "While we are heartbroken by the damage, we are already looking ahead. The Minnesota Renaissance Festival community is resilient, and we will work to rebuild and bring back the magic as soon as possible." And Jonah Kaplan there right now, just before this press conference, he sent us this report. Take a look.
You know, if you've never been to the Renaissance Festival grounds in Shakopee, I mean, think about just a giant 50-acre movie set. And generally, what are movie sets made of? Wood. And people here, between the fire crews, between the owners and managers, between some of the vendors that we've spoken with, they're calling this a miracle that almost everything is still standing. Yes, significant damage to about a dozen or so buildings. But considering that there are 300 vendors here, and this place, again, 50 acres, and it's basically a tinderbox made all of wood, and generally, mostly, everything's still standing, unscathed, a miracle. How did that happen? We're talking to fire crews. We understand a lot of it had to do with the heavy rains. That provided a heavy assist, right? Because then the wood obviously was saturated, not as dry, not as brittle. Also, a cement firewall that actually stopped the flames from spreading onto a whole nother row of buildings. It also took the heroics of a lot of firefighters, and this became a 4-alarm fire. So we're talking about nearly a dozen other fire departments besides Shakopee coming here and through this terrain. And don't forget, it's not like there are water lines around here. There's no fire hydrants kind of in the middle of the countryside. So really remarkable, again, how this all happened. We're gonna have a full report coming up later on WCCO News.